Yo, what's up, creatives? Welcome to Mobile Design Pro. I'm Triple T, your host, and this is day one of our 7-day free mobile graphic design training. Now, throughout this training, we'll be making use of Pixellab. Like Pixellab will be the default tool we'll be using to create the professional graphic designs directly from our phones. Although we'll make use of other apps, but Pixellab is the core for the design training. Now, so in today's class, I'll be showing you the Pixellab interface, where the major tools are located and what each important tool does. So if you're a beginner, don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll feel much more comfortable using the app. So without much cap, let's just get started. Now first, my own version of Pixellab is kind of different. This is the version I use, this one right here. But no worries, I'll post them. If you've already joined my Telegram channel, you will have access to the APK, so you can download it. If you've not joined, do that before tonight. So now let's just get started. So when you open the Pixellab, this is basically what you see. Now, before jumping into flyer design and advanced editing, it's important to first understand your workspace. A lot of beginners, they struggle because they don't understand where tools are located or what each button does. But once you understand the interface properly, design just becomes easier, faster, and less consuming. Like it becomes like a piece of cake. So now let's start. Now the first thing you see when you open Pixellab, what you notice is this top section right here. This top section, that's the first thing you notice once you open Pixellab. This is what we call the toolbar. Like this section is called the toolbar, and this area contains some of the most important controls in Pixellab. So now let's go into each of the icons you're seeing on the top section. First, we have this plus icon right here, this plus sign. Now this plus icon here is used for adding elements into your design. When you tap on it, you see you can add text, you can add current dates, you can add stickers, shapes, you can add images from gallery. That's what this image right here means. This option here means from gallery means you can add an image from gallery and can draw custom shapes or tools by yourself. So next we have the save icon. This one is used for just saving. Let me show you. Sorry, this icon basically is used to save and export your designs to your phone gallery. Now note this plus icon, the first plus icon we talked about, like it will be a very important it's a very important tool in this training because we use more of that often during the course of this training. In fact, as a designer in Pixellab, you make use of that plus sign very often. So next we have the shape icon, the share icon, sorry. Now this share icon, it allows you to share your project daily to other apps or platforms. Although me as a designer, I don't use it often. I use it once in a while, but we won't be going into more of this icon. So next we have the quotes icon. A quotes icon. The quotes icon contains preset text quotes and styles you can use for inspiration or quick designs. Like when you click on it, you can see multiple quotes, motivational quotes, success quotes, friendship quotes, happiness, inspiration, positivity, whatever kind of quote you're looking for. Basically, the quotes icon has it. So next, after the quotes icon, is the three dots menu. Right here, the three dots menu. This contains additional settings and advanced options. Like when you click on it, you see you can use an image from gallery for the background. That's what this first option means. This first option means use image from gallery to serve as the background. Next, we have full screen. The full screen will enable you to see your design in full screen mode without these tools showing. Then we have use image from camera to save for the background still. Export image, resize image. Now this resize image, this image size is very vital, like is a very important factor in designing. You have to know your image sizes. Like you have to have consistent sizes you use when designing. Next, we have this report bug. Those ones are basically you can just see everything here. But these first five are the very important ones. And then sorry, this one too is also important. This open PLP file. Now when you click on it, you see all your Pixellab files and you can select which one you want to open at which specific time. Like these are these are all my Pixellab designs. See, there are many. So when you click on that open PLP file, you are able to open your file or any project you want to go into. So now we've covered the first row. We've covered this first row. Next, we'll go to the next row, the tools on the next row. So the first tool there is the undo button. This tool is the undo button. Like when you make errors in design, when you click on it, it takes you a step back. But no number of times you click, you keep going back. But unfortunately, Pixellab has not gotten a redo button. The developers have not developed a redo button. So for now, we just use the undo button. Then next, beside it, we have the zoom tool. Now this magnifying glass over here is used for zooming in and out of your workspace. Let me show you an instance. When you click on it, you just pinch the screen and zoom in or out. Zoom in or out. That's how it is used. So most times, maybe you need to see a particular detail on your design. You zoom in and you look at it. Then next, beside it, we have the grid tool. This grid tool is also very important for beginners because it helps you align your designs properly. Alignment is very important in graphic design because it keeps your work neat and professional. Like when you click on it, by default it has 3 rows, 3 columns. Oh, sorry, 4. Yeah, 3 rows and 3 columns. But you can like customize it to how you want it and set it the way you love it to be. So next, beside the grid icon, we have the layer icon. This is the layer icon. Now this one here is one of the very most important tools in Pixellab. Like layers help you organize elements in your designs. Like every element in your design is organized in layers. As you can see, this text on the screen, it's already on the layer. So no matter the amount of elements and text and shapes you add to your design, they will all be arranged in layers. So if you understand layers, the earlier you understand layers, the faster it will help you improve and understand your designs. Now this middle section over here, this wide middle section, is called the canvas or your workspace. This is where your actual design happens. Everything you do happens in this middle space. Now the original version of Pixellab is blue, but this is the modded version, that's why it's black, and the default text is different. If you're using the original version, the blue version, fine, it's still basically the same thing. It's just a difference of interface. So everything you add on Pixellab will appear inside this area. Any text, anything you add that is not appearing here is not going to show in your design. Now, next we'll go to this default text. Whenever you open Pixellab, it automatically sets a default text, and in this modern version, this is the default text you see. You can tap on it, you can edit it, you can move it around, you can resize it or completely delete it, whatever you want. Basically, I don't use this default text. We'll go into the session of choosing fonts and stuff. So now let's now move to the bottom section. So this bottom section. Now at the bottom section here, Pixellab gives you different preset styles and background options. This can help beginners quickly experiment with different looks and design ideas. Like as a beginner, I used this a lot. All this, you just play around. You can select this as a default background. You can change it to this. You can change to this. You can basically play around with all these default backgrounds. But as you develop you begin to lose interest in this because you start creating your own backgrounds and stuff. But as beginners, you can experiment with each of these and play around with it. So now, next we go to the bottommost part, bottommost part of the interface. I'm sorry, before we go down there, we have this button here. It serves the same purpose as this open PLP file. The same thing this thing does is what this one too does. So when you click on it, it will bring out all your designs, still the same way the other one works. So it gives you access to basically all your designs. So you just select the one you want to work on. After you save, you move to the next. So next we have the text tool. Yeah, the text tool, still doing the same thing. This text tool right here is still doing the same thing this text tool over here will do. So it gives you access to text editing features. Since graphic design relies heavily on typography, as a graphic designer you have to be good at typography. There must be text in your designs. Now when you click on this text tool, you add text. This is what comes out. This is the default text and font. The default font of the text is the same with the default font you have on your phone. So you can edit it, write whatever text you want to write, custom it, whichever way you want to do it. You can copy, duplicate. This move to the front is when we go deep into layers. We'll talk about these ones. You can position it, this right here, position it in the middle. Press this middle to take it to the middle. You can resize it, you can pad it. We'll talk more on this tool as the training goes. But for now, I just want to show you can select any font you want or whatever. So next we have the shapes tool. This tool over here. Now this middle tool is used for shapes and additional design elements. So you can add a shape. These are the default shapes you see. When you click on shapes and then you click on this down arrow right here, these are the shapes you see on Pixellab, the default shapes Pixellab has. So during the course of the training, we'll talk about customizing your own shapes to whatever you like. But basically, those are the default shapes you see on Pixellab. So you can select shapes, delete. You can draw your own custom shapes. This bezier, we'll talk about these ones later. So let's just move on for now. Next, we have the layer tool right here beside the shapes element. So this layer section, sorry, let me highlight it again. This layer section, it helps you manage the background layer specifically. Like everything here is just for the background layer. So you can add, it does the same thing that this one does. This three dots button is almost the same thing. This three dots button focuses on the background layer. Same with this layer button right here. They do basically the same work. They focus on the background layer specifically. You can custom the background color. You can add image, like use image as the background. You can select from gallery. You can add from camera, whichever way you want to do. So then finally, this one, it still focuses on the background. This last icon here, it still focuses on the background. This vignette is to like give a background a kind of dark vibe. But basically me, I don't use this last icon often in my designs. It was as a beginner I played around with it, although there are specific times you might need to use it. So now one thing we need to know, beginners, they make mistakes when learning design. Like they want to try every tool immediately. Please, as a beginner, please don't do that. Like the goal is to first become comfortable with the interface. Like get familiar with everything on the interface. This video, you can play it 50 to 100 times whichever way you like get familiar with each tool, know what each tool does. And then as you continue training, you naturally become familiar with the tools through constant practice. So far today we've covered the Pixellab interface. We've seen the toolbar, we've seen adding elements, saving designs, layers. Although we'll talk more in this as training continues. So now, before next class, I have a brief assignment for you. Although it's not even like an assignment. So what you need to do is open Pixellab. Watch this video at least minimum of 3 times. Click on each of these icons I've listed out and explained. Try to know what each of them do. Because do anything random with it, and like you don't even need to paste your result on the group. Just make anything random, play around with it, and do that at your free time. You don't need to worry about perfection. Like just play around, get comfortable with the app. Basically, keep creating, and we'll see in the next tutorial video.